Hey everyone, it's been a long time since I've posted a video, but I'm feeling pretty good today, and I've got some rare extra time to kill. So let me tell you all about Ultimate Muscle Cards. Now maybe you're wondering, what in the world is Ultimate Muscle? Well, I'm going to give you a brief history so you just know where they came from. But just a reminder, if you want to get to just the cards, feel free to fast forward, and we'll catch up with you later. Now, Ultimate Muscle came from something called Kinnikuman, which was a manga and also a television series released in Japan. And it focused on a character named Kinnikuman, who was a bumbling idiot, who then became a superhero wrestler and saved the world multiple times. I kid you not, I am not making this up, that's what it's actually about. And it was wildly successful in Japan. In fact, it's still popular there today. Now, over in North America, we didn't get too much of Kinnikuman. But one of the things we did get was something called Kinkeshi. And these were these little rubber figures. And in North America, they were renamed as Muscle, an acronym standing for Millions of Unusual Small Creatures Lurking Everywhere. And these were based on the characters from Kinnikuman. And these were a big deal in the 80s. They were such a big deal that they even got their own video game called Tag Team Match Muscle. Now, Kinnikuman continued strongly in Japan, so much so that they ended up doing a spin-off manga about the next generation of superhero wrestlers. And included in that were Kinnikuman's son, Kid Muscle. This storyline would become known as Ultimate Muscle. And this would make its way over to North America. And that's why we have things such as the English version of the Ultimate Muscle manga. That's why you might have grown up playing an Ultimate Muscle video game, including the Game Boy Advance Ultimate Muscle, The Path of a Superhero, or the PlayStation 2 version, Galactic Wrestling, or my personal favorite, the GameCube version of Ultimate Muscle, which is just a ridiculous, wonderful way to spend a Friday night with a bunch of people. But I think what most people remember about Ultimate Muscle is the show, the cartoon. I mean, where else could you see a humanoid walrus try and make someone his catch of the day? Where else could you see someone wrestle a giant cell phone named Diabolic, all while announcers unapologetically say all these puns, like, "Hold the phone!" or "I think he's reached the end of his line!" And it's just zany and ridiculous and wonderful and nostalgic for some people. And so that brings us to other merchandise such as Ultimate Muscle, the Kinnikuman Legacy Battle Card Game. We did it. We made it through the history. Let's talk about the cards. Now this card game, it only had 2 sets and 8 promo cards. So we'll start talking about Series 1. Series 1 had a total of 60 cards, and there were some variations in those cards, but otherwise 60 different cards. And they came in 3 different types of packaging. You had the orange pack with Terry Kenyon on the front. You had the green pack with Kinnikuman / King Muscle on the front. And you had the red pack with Kid Muscle on the front. And the pack variation, the packaging variation, it did matter a little bit. Because you could get different colored stamp cards in each type of pack, and we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. But in each pack, what you would get is you would get a booster pack of cards, 10 cards each. You would get a playmat, which you can kind of see the sliver of the playmat back there. And you would also get a little micro figure, a throwback to those muscle figures in the 80s. And I don't think these cards were ever very popular. In fact, when I first started collecting these, I kept running into people that collected for the figure, and they would kind of throw the cards away or forget where they went. But either way, it's understandable because the game itself is not very good. I wouldn't advise trying to play it unless you modify the rules a little bit or use someone else's modified rules. But hey, you can do whatever you want. In Series 1 packs, there were 5 different playmats that you could get. So I'm just going to show those to you very quickly here. So there's playmat 1, there's playmat 2, There's playmat 3, there's playmat 4, and there's playmat 5. You could also get a total of 10 different sculpted minifigures, and each one came in a red translucent version or a blue translucent version. Which brings us back to the cards. So, in the first set, like I said, there's 60 different cards that you could get. There were holographic cards and then rare stamped cards. And you'll see those in a second. We don't know the odds of them. They're not printed on the pack. But you can see a holographic card up top there with Kid Muscle. You got Terry Kenyon and Meat. Those are all holographic ones. And just to show you one up close, the wrestler cards are double-sided. As part of the game, they would flip back and forth, depending on how the game was going. Now we'll just keep going through here. And then we get to the stamped cards. And let's see if I can bring this up closer here for you to see. There we go. If you look at the King Muscle right here, this is stamped in red. And then you see this one's stamped in blue, and this one's stamped in green. And that was determined by the packaging, the different packaging that we saw. The red ones came out of that orange Terry Kenyon pack. The blue ones could come out of that green King Muscle pack. And the green stamped ones could come out of the red Kid Muscle pack. And so you could get 3 different versions of the same card depending on the pack wrapper. As you can see, Terry Man was also a stamp card as well as Robin Mask. Then you got a fan favorite here. Kevin Mask is a holographic. Some more stamped cards with Robin Man. Another holographic with the Super Wrestler Rocket card there. Another holographic with the STF holographic. And again, I'm just showing you the holographic and stamped ones. You can see all the other ones, the commons and uncommons, as we go along. But it'd take forever if I pointed all of them out. You got a holographic Tower Bridge up there. And then again, you got the stamp cards with the Kinnikuman Buster, red, blue, and green. The Kinnikuman Driver as well, different stamped colors. The holographic Big Ben Bash. And then we get to our final page of Series 1, in which we have the holographic Wrestler Cryogenic System, and then the Secret Plan holographic. Kind of a strange card. And that brings us to the start of Series 2. Series 2 is very similar to Series 1 in the fact that there's still 60 cards to collect. The different stamped ones are going to depend on the packaging. So, for example, red stamps are going to come out of the red Kevin Mask pack. Blue stamps are going to come out of the blue Mars, or some people know them as a Scara pack. And green stamps are going to come out of the gray Silver Checkmate pack. But otherwise, they did the same thing, where, again, you got 10 cards, you got your play mat right there, and you got a micro figure in each pack. There were 5 new play mats to collect. Here they are briefly again for you. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. I feel like this is an episode of Sesame Street. And there's 5. 5 play mats. So there's the play mats. And this set would come with 9 different figures that you could collect, or different sculpts, I should say. 7 different ones from the first set, and 2 of Kid Muscle that are repeats from the first set. And once again, you could get the translucent red version or the translucent blue version. Series 2 had 60 more cards to collect. Same thing with the holographics and stamped cards. So you got the holographic Kid Muscle in the upper left-hand corner there. That's a pretty sweet background. Then you got the stamped card of Mars there, red, blue, and green, just like the first set. Got a holographic Hydrozoa in the upper left corner. Holographic Tyrannoclaw. The stamped red, blue, and green Checkmate. Holographic Sunshine there on the right. Then if you notice there's 2 spaces here, yes, it's sad, but I haven't completed my Ultimate Muscle card collection yet. So if you happen to have any Ultimate Muscle cards, please reach out. I'd love to connect with more people and get a chance to finally complete this thing. But anyway, I'm missing the red stamped Warsman. I got the blue and the green. Then I'm missing the red stamped Buffalo Man. I got the blue and the green. Then you got the holographic muscle curtain there in the middle. And the stamped cards on top there are the Hurricane Mixer cards. That's Buffalo Man Special, red, blue, and green. I'm going to try and speed up here. I'm losing a little bit of daylight here. Then you got the stamped cards of the Palo Special. That's Warsman's move. And we'll keep going. You got a holographic of the Tombstone Driver, the Fisherman's Suplex, and Hoof Pin. And then the holographic of Luau Training, as well as Fanfare. And that's the 60 cards of Series 2 that we just went by. And so that only leaves the 8 promo cards. Now the promo cards are ones that were put in like action figures and little miniature figures. They're part of the toys. And you can tell them pretty easily because right on the bottom it'll tell you, toy exclusive. The numbering's also different because instead of UM and then a number, it says KM and then a number. Plus the game text and also some of these numbers are different as well. But they will share the same picture as cards from the booster sets. As mentioned, you'd get one with the toys. So here's an example. So here's a sealed Kid Muscle action figure. And if you look in the back, there's an Ultimate Muscle card hidden in the back there. You can't tell which of these you would get, but you would get one randomly with each action figure or toy. So that brings us to the end of our Ultimate Muscle card journey for today. I do want to thank a couple people. First of all, I want to thank the org for sharing info on the game when it first came out and for making that game playable. He's been working on rules, so just we're very thankful for him. Also, Jay Karis, who is just, man, dude is a legend, so thank you. And also Cloning 007, Soupy, and Rubber Hammer. I do remember your help, and I appreciate it. And so, on that note, I will bid you farewell and hope you have a great day. Of course, if you have any comments or just want to talk about Ultimate Muscle, learn more, if you remember Ultimate Muscle, feel free to leave a comment. I love interacting with anyone that posts something. So, have a great rest of your day, and hopefully there'll be another video in the near future.